Have you ever seen a child in a class that no matter how hard they try, can't seem to act appropriately? Of course, everyone probably has seen this. What you might not recognize is that the child is probably not acting out for no reason. There is a strong chance that they're missing tools to feel and be successful. Misbehavior is a symptom and a form of communication, so pay attention to children and recognize that every one of them is unique and has their own needs, wants, and interests. I have been working for more than 2 years in an after-school program with 4th and 5th graders and also a preschool, and I've dealt with a wide multitude of behavioral problems. In this speech, you will learn how to learn about different behavioral issues, how to recognize them and why they occur, and how to minimize them. First off, you need to be able to recognize behavioral cues indicating when a child is having troubles doing their job in class. Walking around and talking to the class helps the teacher identify behaviors that are unwanted. The adult should watch the kid's body language and listen for tone. Behavioral problems are common and expected in early childhood educations, but how you respond to the behavior can make the biggest difference. Feelings that are not expressed healthily can be detrimental to a young person's health and can present just as being a bad child. I was shocked to see that according to the U.S. National Library of Medicine, suicide is the third leading cause of death of kids ages 5 to 14. Being able to form a relationship with the kids and recognize their behaviors and triggers is helpful to avoid these negative actions. One common way to avoid unwanted behaviors during a period of transition is posting a schedule in the class for the children to see. Some children have difficulty socializing appropriately with peers. It can lead to a disconnect of feelings of isolation and unwanted behaviors. Unwanted behaviors occur. It is easy for one or two problem students to completely distract the class from a lesson. Disruption of a class is a large challenge for the teacher. Teaching tools for success can minimize the struggle. Those behaviors present for a multitude of reasons. Now I will tell you common reasons why they most often occur. Unwanted behaviors occur when something is missing from the student's life. According to Dr. Saul McLeod on simplepsychology.org, Maslow's hierarchy of needs can be met from the bottom to the top of the pyramid, as shown in example. Biological and physiological needs need to be met first, following safety, loving and belongingness, esteem, cognitive, aesthetic, self-actualization, and transcendence. If these needs are not met, there can be a disconnect resulting in acting out in order to get the attention they are not receiving. Many of the children I work with come from the foster system, extremely poor home lives, divorced households, and trauma. Depression, anxiety, and anger are all the results of troubled home lives. Children children who have had trauma even more so need a trusted adult. This way they can learn to trust, regulate emotions, and learn how to appropriately interact with the world around them. Learning disorders such as ADHD, autism, and dyslexia often get overlooked as just misbehavior and aren't given assistance when tools are crucial for success. Unwanted behaviors a lot of the time happen out of pure boredom, keeping the kids engaged and occupied to manage these classroom behaviors. After getting through the meltdowns and defiant behaviors, listening to the child's needs, taking action, and making a plan shows the child you are there to support and provide tools for them. Children should feel personally responsible to develop relationships with their students. Tools to help a child succeed should be provided by the teacher. Teachers should set clear and consistent expectations and model those expectations for the students for each area they are going into. Fidget toys can be used in the classroom, and it's kind of a new technique. An example of a fidget toy that I've seen recently is fidget spinners while they're reading to keep them from playing with things they shouldn't be playing with, or using putty or stress balls or wobble chairs, which is that. Giving the child an opportunity to take breaks before an outburst happens is important. This helps the child learn to recognize their needs and take action before getting out of hand. Goal sheets can be provided at different tier levels based on need. This helps check in with the child and promotes self-awareness and self-control. Getting the parents involved for more support at home is important. Last year I had a set of adopted brothers that were really struggling in school and generally just seemed unhappy. It wasn't until I spoke with the adoptive mom every day during pickup that I was able to understand their past circumstances that had a major toll on their small minds. I was then able to create those relationships and build a trust with said students. They became more successful in school afterwards. Using caring confrontation when speaking to them about their problem behaviors builds their trust and supports them in sharing how they feel in a healthy way. Processing after problem behaviors using the I see, can you, even though practices to validate their emotions and creates an understanding for their expectations. Make sure not to use sarcasm. It is a goal at LPS right now to use the 4-to-1 ratio in the classroom, which is 4 praises for every corrected behavior. We use a caught being good reward system where we write their name on little bees and they draw at the end of the week and they can get a prize. That helps them feel encouraged to be good. Having a schedule posted in the class to see helps transitions, which is often a trigger for unwanted behaviors, and it teaches time management. Developing relationships to build the trust is, in my opinion, the most important tool to use for unwanted behaviors. You do this by expressing care, showing them that they matter by being dependable, listening to them, believing in them, being warm and encouraging, challenging growth, pushing them to be their best selves, expecting the best, holding them accountable, and reflecting on their failures. Thirdly, providing support. Some ways that can be done is empowering them by building confidence, advocating for them, and setting boundaries for them to be successful. You want to share the power with the children, take them seriously, and include them in decision making, allowing them to lead and work with them to solve problems. Expand their possibilities and broaden their horizons by inspiring the child to see the possibilities for their futures and connecting them to people that can help them grow. In conclusion, you don't ever really know what is happening in a young child's mind, but putting in the effort to try and understand them can make the world of a difference. I still think about the adults in my life that I trusted growing up and the impact they made on me to this day. In this speech, I have explained what behavioral problems are, why they occur, and how to support a child with unwanted behaviors. Not every child feels they have a trusted adult on their side. A young person should never feel alone and without a support system because this can be dangerous to their well-being. Giving a child the chance to communicate how they feel could save them from an unsafe situation like child abuse at home. Now, before you see a child acting out of line and automatically labeling them as a bad apple, think about this speech and how you can offer your love and support to them instead. It might just have a huge impact on their life, and you might be surprised by the joy of a strong relationship with a child can have for you.
Good job, Maddie.